Good morning. Today we are going to work on the Model A. Darn it. All right. Sorry. A little distraction going on in the background. I had to use the restroom, and like most men, I had to just look on Facebook Marketplace during that time period, and I just found a really good deal on LS swapped second generation S10. Pretty clean little truck, already lowered down. LS swap is in there, but I think it starts up, but it still needs stuff like transmission lines and actually the cooling system, like the fans and stuff, all hooked up for some longevity out of it running. It ain't 100% truck, but it's pretty dang close, and the price on it is not much more than what a clean one usually costs stock. So I don't know. I had to inquire some information about it. You don't know if you don't ask. Get us a new battery in the camera, and we are good to go now. I made a quick little list of stuff. So last week on the main channel, or this week, however you want to look at it, tomato. We got this thing actually roadworthy. We've been driving it around. I put some miles on it around town, and with that, you know, we start to do the shakedown, which is what is some stuff we're unhappy with. So for me, I'm just gonna start banging stuff out here on the second channel, and until we get her how we really want her. Up first, there's an exhaust leak. I put that at the top of our list. It just sounds terrible to me. There's a hole in the exhaust over there that didn't get welded whenever it was built. I know some of y'all was not impressed with the exhaust on this thing, and I'm not gonna lie to you and act like I was like overly impressed with it by any means. I don't hate how it sounds from behind. That exhaust leak up front's ruining it. I'm thinking, I don't like that Everlast TIG welder. And someone said, well, if you call support and you do this, you do that, and then you fix this and that. Well, in my mind, if you just get you a good TIG welder, you should just have a good one. Slick really likes his Eastwood one, and I'm thinking we might go that route. Those things are on sale right now for one, and compared to that Everlast, they're cheap. I could probably get that one and then turn around and sell that one and make money in the end. Or I may give that sucker to someone I know who could use it. That's neither here nor there. What I'm getting at here is I would like to pick a day or two in the future for a second channel thing where I can just sit at that table one morning and just practice all morning on my TIG. And then I'd like to we'll get some good stainless or something, and I'll build us a real nice exhaust for this thing one day, hopefully, is kind of the idea. For now, we can weld up that hole and hopefully just get that exhaust leak not sounding so terrible. And for breaking it in still and shaking it down, it's better to have something than nothing. We've got some rubbing in the rear, and I just read that as rubbing in my ear. So let me rub my ear real quick. We got a tap noise, a little. Something underneath the thing's rattling around. Not a huge fan of that. Really, what I wanted to get after today was the mounting the hood. I'd like to see what this thing looks like with the hood on. We may do a little yellow pinstripe removal. It's only got one seat in it for interior. We need to add a little bit of trans fluid to it. And then the throttle's a little rickety-stickety sometimes. So actually, we're gonna start right there before I forget again. One thing I noticed during our drive, this little jam nut, I think I just have it ran in a hair too far. So I'm gonna take it, quarter turn off, and I could still kind of feel that. So maybe this tab here, maybe we need to drill it out just slightly bigger. Maybe it's just too tight on our threads. Because sometimes when this comes back like this, it's somehow keeping it bound up. I don't know. It's a funky deal. Never had trouble out of one of these ever in my life. Never have I ever. But just like that there, see, I should be able to pull that straight off. I shouldn't have to wiggle it and find the sweet spot. That means there's a little lip in there, and that lip is probably almost threading on our threads, which is no good. So let's give that a little waller for $1, huh? Yoo-hoo! Theo! Over here! I heard you doing the twist and shout over here. What you doing, living on your ducky? Loving that ear rub. That's why I put rub the ear on the list. I knew I had to give Theo some ear rubs. Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. Just a little. Now that's way more gooder. Sometimes just a little does a lot. It definitely feels better. Besides that, I'm gonna try to give us a little more spring tension. We should be able to do that by cracking this bolt right here loose. And that's where our spring's hooking onto, is one of these little brackets. Then I'm just gonna rotate this sucker back and tighten that back up. All right, and then we may just pop the spring lane, get the springy off the dinghy. Because as you may notice, the spring's actually a little stretched. Now someone did that because his judgment of racking the throttle by hand said this was a little too much spring. But it's actually not, because even in the gas pedal I can feel I would like a little more. So let's see if we happen to have one of these or not. Damn hand calibrator's off. We got that. Which they sometimes double those suckers up, I guess. I don't know what the benefit of that is. I got this here that's got all kinds of them in there. Too small. Too soft. Too ugly. This one here might be just right. Pop our TV cable off, and I'm gonna put just a little bit of grease down in there like that. Help that pivot good. A little tight fit with that spring hooked on there as well, but it works. Oh yeah, that feels good. That's definitely got a little more on it. So that ain't good. Our TV cable ain't full returning there. All right, so I got to move that spring location off there. I should have known better than that anyhow. It would be okay if it stayed over on that big piece. But it don't. It falls down in there on the shank. Hopefully y'all can see what I'm talking about. So it probably didn't start off there, but a couple cycles and it will fall there. Nope, we ain't gonna be able to get to it down like that. We're gonna have to pull that bracket off. What if, just take it up there. There's a little notch I can set that spring in. For a little mock up here. Maybe y'all can see I've got it hooked on that thing down there. Pedal feels pretty good in here. I just want to make sure it doesn't feel too tight. Oopsie daisy. I did get a little too close on that right up at that edge, but I don't think our spring will fall out of that. Slap all this back together. Obviously new spring, moved down low, top wallered out. Little speckle of grease in there. I noticed something else that is hurting me just because of this binding. I got to looking. Look how this cable's pulling over that way, immediately out of here. We want that to have a little bit better swoop. Like right there, that's steady. That right there, we're creating a kink right at that clamping point. And in fact, it was even worse than that, because I have some stuff all zip tied up on this back side of the motor, and the TV cable over here was included in that, so it was actually yanking it this way even harder. So I cut that zip tie over here and redid it with the TV cable no longer included. Then what I'm gonna do is take this TV cable and straighten it up out of there, and I'm actually gonna put a zip tie on it on this harness that runs on the back side of the motor, because that thing ain't moving, so that'll actually get that with a steady swoop on it. And all this little crap adds up to, one, how good does that feel? How well does it perform? The longevity of it before something really becomes an issue. And guys, when you're dealing with something that is making power compared to the weight of it and whatnot, you do not want to be fighting stick and throttle. You don't want to be going through town after you just revved it up and then the car in front of you decides to slam on it's brakes, and then you're trying to brake, but then your throttle's stuck on you as well. It's how you become a mobile battering ram, and nobody wants to be that. Well, sometimes, actually, you do want to be that, but you can't be that. That's not legal. Think you can cut me off? Boom! That'll teach you. Every time someone cuts me off when I'm in the Throttle, I'm like, this ain't the one, because if there's one car I don't give a damn about that will accomplish the job, it's this one. Snap. Now that looks really good. Feels way better. Well, little update behind the scenes of the marketplace find. I asked the guy how many miles the drivetrain had on it from his donor vehicle. He said 140K. That's pretty low. I don't really have no way of confirming that, but we've just got to, you know, believe in the good in people. Some of y'all right now is like, yep, that's where he's messing up. I asked him if he'll work with me on when I can come and get it. I'll send him a deposit type thing and then be there in like 5 days. We're just too busy this week. Mama's still sick, so I can't be going a couple hours away in case she needs something. So who knows? Get our exhaust grounded. Let me get a light. All right, hopefully y'all can see. And right there where the tip of that screwdriver is, from the moment I seen that, I knew that was an open hole. That looks like a caterpillar took a crap. And that may be being nice. But that right there is a big old hole, so we gotta daub that up with some bubble gum to match the rest of the weld in there. I knew I'd turned my gas on, it started welding like I didn't, so I should have gave her a little purge apparently. That's all we need in there to match that already quality weld is, let's weld her up with no gas. Hell with it, live a little, you know what I mean? Always be sure to put the glove on the hand that you can't actually get in there. I seen another area, because that pipe's offset because they cut it on an angle and then put a straight piece in there. It left a big old gap. I seen another area where it looked like the weld may not been all the way in, so put a bead on it too. Knick-knack, patty crap. Throw that weld a bone. It could use it. Is what it is for now. Like I said, in the future, we'll build something nice. We'll get some of them pie cuts or something and figure out how to swoop all that and make it not. Passenger side, same thing. We did some good by getting rid of that one though. I can tell that. Over there, I'm finding them just because I put my hand around where the welds are and I can just feel it coming out. Oh man. Nothing makes your hot rod sound like a damn jalopy and a half when you come pulling up and just damn exhaust leaking out both sides. Hell, I give the guy one thing. He was persistent. He's actually a buddy of mine, and I'm not mad at him, guys. I mean, hell, everyone has their days that aren't their days. And I'm sure I could get a hold of him and say, hey, this crap up here is all leaking, and he would say, bring it over. That one glove got me feeling like Michael. Let me have a little look-see. All right, I found one definite hole. A little small one, another possible one. Looks like a pinhole, but it's rusty in there, almost like some water came out, like some condensation and rusted through, so that could be a small one. And then I'm saying there's a good possibility that on top, there's a hole because it looks very hard to get to. And my assumption is after he put everything in place, he didn't want to drop the whole thing down to be able to weld up the top because it looks like it just got boogered from however he could get to it. This time, we're gonna use a little protection. Got us grounded. One for sure hole, two possible. I still think it's possible we got more. I'm gonna fire this thing up and crawl up underneath there where I can feel around, see if I can feel any more. this side's good to go. This side over here, but it still sounds like it has a tiny one, but it may even be our exhaust manifold. I mean, who knows? That could have a tiny little leak. This one and the one at the very back got probably close to a quarter turn. This one right here in the middle, it is tight as it can go, but it is not maxed out. It's not making it down to the exhaust manifold. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if we've just got a bolt in there that's a hair too long. Oh, I got it. Yep, that's a long bolt. So that thing, I guess maybe I put it in there to mock stuff up one time and then never actually swapped it out. So hopefully that's the last of the noise we're hearing. There we go. That one's a little shorter, huh? A little too short. Well, I looked through my supply. I don't have the proper length we need. We need one that's in between the one I have and the one that came out. That one will fit. Gives us a few threads, but there ain't no room for lock washer or anything like that. But tight's tight. We definitely sound better. I'm not convinced that there ain't a little one somewhere else, but it don't sound near as bad as it did. I don't know how much the camera microphone's gonna do justice to what I'm hearing versus what y'all get to hear, but I'm telling you, it sounds way more better. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I got a few turns on that, so that may have quietened us down just a hair too. I think we had a tiny one going on right there. It's just so, exhaust like gets so high pitched that it's hard to hear sometimes, guys. That right now running sounds a lot better than what it was. I can hear a little rattle back in here, but that's to be expected. We don't have no like sound deadening, no interior panels, stuff like that helps a lot as far as obviously having a lot of open sheet metal, which is also what our floor is right now, so there's that to consider. But I'm still convinced something's in a position where it can tap the bottom of the floor. And since we've got our plumb jacked up in the air right now with the old lift kit on it, we might as well take that light right there and see if we can't find it. Well, we ain't gonna end up having time to get the hood on this thing today. It's okay, you don't gotta have a hood to drive it. We do gotta have all this other stuff sorted though. Well, apparently we got bigger problems than something ticking or slapping the bottom of the floor. What's underneath here? We got a coolant coming from somewhere. What the heck, over? You can see it on our dampener there, balancer, whatever. This side's a little more wet. I can see a little bit on there. Did we spray out of here again? I don't know. Maybe it just started to. It looks like a little, but well, that could be from the fan. I don't know what to do besides start it back up and look. What was that noise, huh? Theo heard a strange noise, he's gonna get it. So if you're trying to find some coolant where it's coming from and you suspected it may have blew out of there, you definitely want to lean in right there with that aimed right at you to do some investigating. Do not do that. I can't tell if we're still leaking or what. Temperature is about $190, so it ain't too hot. I think I just seen it, guys. A second ago, just a few drips came out of there, hit down there, and then started to make a mess. Our puddle's not growing, so that's a good sign. Just had a drip. I think it's our radiator cap. I don't know if the camera picked it up, but I know I seen for a second where it shot a good little hot tooey out of there. Not a whole lot, just enough where it shot out about an inch or so, and it kind of fell. And then of course you get fan and hits this, and it kind of bounced some on the fan and stuff. So I think this was probably gurgling just a little bit out. We probably need to add an overflow little hose on that somewhere, where if it continues to do that, we can kind of make sure that is what it is. Now you definitely want to get her nice and hot underneath here before you crawl around to look for your tappity. All right, there's our TV cable. and it is rubbing that. So that could be it a little bit, I guess. I don't think so. I think that would almost have to get spring loaded like that, which should not happen just from driving. I'm thinking possibly more like that right there could be the noise I'm hearing. Get to bouncing down the road, and maybe those two are tapping each other or something. Shifter linkage seems happy and clear. That's good. And other than that, maybe floor up in there to the transmission itself. I can't reach up in there. Every time I do, the exhaust gets my arm, and I'm about over that. Oh, boy, I wish I could reach up in there, because right there we've got our transmission housing, and there's a longer bolt in there that's coming through and hitting that transmission for sure. So that right there could be it too. And I tried very hard to make sure stuff like our floor pans and transmission itself was accounted for as far as some gappage between there. But what I did not think about was the hardware we ran down into them nut certs. So that could very well be it. Close sesame. That's good. Apparently I already stripped out this one. Just out of curiosity. Maybe that 4mm will get it. Woo, baby! Today's my lucky day. I done got the drill and the ease out. I was about to fight it. Then I remembered those like 5/30 seconds and 4mm are really close. Close enough apparently. According to the results of that little test there, the 4mm slightly bigger. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're running us a nut down on these, and I just went ahead and got us 4 new ones. We're gonna give them the custom cut down job. Once you cut them down, just run that sucker in and out a couple times. Y'all have seen me do it a million times. We're always making our own custom hardware around here. Figure we'll do the 4 closest where it's most narrow, because they obviously have the most chance of being able to hit it. Sound like someone called the band in. Hit it! Now the next question is, did I cut them too short? All right, that's what we're trying for this first go around to see if that's it. That was, to me, looked like the most likely suspect. And if it ain't it, we'll just keep putting eyeballs on stuff until we get her figured out. I knew I'd seen it. Now I caught you red-handed, huh? I think this is vacuum hose. It looks to be about the right size. Let's see. Yep, and it's black, so I like that. Snip that in straight. Use our wet rag and give her a polish job. Shoo! Sure was dirty. Maybe if we tuck her back behind our wiring, and then our brace down here, it'll kind of pull it back that way. Oh, actually, let me back this screw out here. If we take that nut off there, then we can push that screw back. Ow! And when that slips, we can pinch our thumb, and then maybe, with that out of the way, we can shove that back in there. Yeah, get in there. All right, she's a little tight. I don't think it's collapsed. We're just gonna run that for now. I like how I always say for now, knowing good and well that if it works fine, it'll probably be like that forever. Forever and ever and ever. Then I see right here in the corner where this brake line bends. Boy, it'd work real good if we could snake that behind that somehow and just clamp it there and snip it. It's a little too tight, but what if we just bend that back like that and that brake line and let it puke all over the exhaust? Perfect. All right, I bent our brake line down just a little bit to open that up. And I really did just kind of pinch that there in the corner, then shove it back up. Kind of keeps her hidden. Should work for us. Y'all ready to get crazy? You ready for me to get buck nasty? Are you ready for me to risk it for the biscuit? Don't ask me what my little head bob was, right? That's a new move I just invented. It's called the hit me if you can. Oh, I'm right here. Boom! Uppercut. All right, I said I want to get the hood on this thing. I really wish I had an extra set of hands. One, handling the butterfly by yourself anyways is risky. I kind of want to do it with it up in the air because we need to get underneath it to be able to mount, figure out our brackets we're going to have to add. But just seems way shadier doing it with it up in the air as well. And it already felt shady enough. I got her in the back one. Oh, that radiator's a little hot on that arm. I did take our strut rods off, which you have to do, so it can come forward and get in our pivot point. We're not there yet. I think our strut rod fell and hit one of the tabs, because now it don't want to go back. Yeah, that's what it was. We're kind of in. All right, strut rods are popped back in. Obviously they're not tightened down. We're gonna have some alignment to kind of figure out. Yeah, a little bit of some alignment issues. I was just pretty happy on this side. I was like, really? That ain't too bad. Pinstripes lining up, kind of where it used to be. We're really only having to add latches down here. This one, we have to drill and tap the frame, I think. And then this one, we got to add a bracket back there because there ain't no frame underneath it. Which honestly, all of that is solid enough. I really don't see why you couldn't just do some through bolts to that latch and it would hold it. I mean, is it really that important for that little latch to be attached to the frame as well? Kind of seems overkill. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Boom, so there's one of our latches. Mine were really worn out and broken. None of them matched. Hodgepodge, so I got these ones from the Speedway. Obviously that just hooks there, but that Bowling Brothers frame came with these, which I guess, depending on yours, you're supposed to weld to the frame underneath yours, whatever. I really don't want to weld to that frame because it's already painted. So my kind of plan was we could take some filler material and weld a plate on this back side and then drill 2 holes through there and then drill and tap our frame, bolt that to the frame, then the latch to that. But I still think that's kind of overkill unless the point of that is to mount that. But even then, at the same time, it's mounted underneath here. It's about to get clamped down there. It's already mounted. I mean, it can't be any more mounted than what it is. So it just kind of seems crazy that that can't be trusted. Maybe it's the vibration over time will flex it and crack it or something. Hell, I don't know. Y'all may see it here first, folks. That sucker might get some through bolts. I'm through playing grab ass. Anyhow, back to this side. It don't line up as good as our other side is. It's almost like the hood's tweaked back. So it's got to come forward, but doing that has this flaring out. So it needs like twisted. Over here you can see a little bit, but I think we'll pull that down with our latches. This one just don't seem near as happy. Kind of bend on her a little bit. And that looks like it would pull down. I wonder. Oh, I wonder who I do. What's in a wonder ball? Can that whole thing be shoved forward? I think it can a little bit. And let's not act like this is, you know, made from the factory to just line up all kinds of beautifully. The back I think we can make work. The front I think will suck down. I'm not loving the gap that is up here, so I'm gonna run our little strut things back further. And this is what you call using your head. back off that back one, then this front one. I'm gonna tighten it down. Should pull this side back. Which closes up our gap some. And sometimes you just need a couple palm strikes to create a little manipulation in this situation. That closes that gap up a lot more. I think where we're sitting is something we could work with now. These gaps actually look better than what I started with. I've looked back in the pictures of this thing before we took it apart. Like I said, she wasn't perfect. I'm trying to get stuff matching up a lot better than even what it was. So this one, I think basically we hit our holes there and there, and we're gonna be good. Let's kind of hold one in place. Oh yeah, more behind the scenes update. Breaking news, folks. We're live. Hello, this is Puddin' Tang, Marketplace Hunter, coming at you with a live update. Behind the scenes, we have confirmed a deal on the S10 pickup and must pick it up on Monday. Back to you, Dan.
Thanks for that update, Puddin'. We'll be looking forward to the S10 here shortly.
What, you got some breaking news? Breaking news, Dad, I need to go poop. Don't you poop right there? Okay, please don't tilt. Are these things different sizes? That's a little closer, not much better. These are too dang tall. So does that mean they're all too dang tall? The Speedway ones are 100% taller than what was on there. What the hell? Just garbage. Everything nowadays. Garbage, garbage, garbage. That one's full broketed. We may try to make our old latches work. Just for now, 3 out of 4 will hold it. I seen this little thing, wasn't sure where it went, but I come over here and look, knowing to be fairly obvious, kind of tell on itself. And there's a rubber stopper right there to keep the hood from going in. So that is the top of our frame underneath that. We're gonna drill and tap that. Yeah, that definitely holds that out better. Yeah, I mean, even those little short guys barely have any tension on that, so it dang sure can't be any shorter than these ones. All right, let's get this party started. Some decisions have been made. One, I got frisky with this thing, and this new one, I put it in here and I smashed her down. And doing that, I think it's actually these new ones will work. Also, you may notice I just drilled that out to 1/4 inch. That's because we're gonna use 1/4-20s to lock these babies down. Well, I say that, and then that one don't seem like it'll reach. That right there does though, so I think we can make that one work. Make that one work for the rear. Let's see if we can get one bent up for the front. Give that the old Slick Fitty special. That's his answer for anything with metal. You just smack it with a hammer. I think that'll work there. Maybe a couple more taps on it. I'm sure they're not the prettiest things because we're having to mash them up, but it's not like these ones are much prettier. We're gonna drill and tap these one at a time, trying to keep these as accurate as possible. All right, tightened her down. Here we go with latch attempt number 1. Boom. Got to pick it up. That's good. That means it's going to keep spring tension on it. That is a tight stinking fit up. Guys, I mean, I'm not mad at it. I think she looks pretty good. Now to get that rear one on, I think we are going to add the bracket. I called Derek and just said, hey, how come you don't use those? And or how come you do use those? And just kind of like I suspected, it's more for over a period of a time, just everything kind of wiggling and it being sheet metal, just having some support there. So that being said, let's see what we're gonna get into. Getting up underneath here. Oh, flashlight. All right, underneath here, we can see our holes. And, oh, actually, that ain't even slotted far enough back. Probably be right in a fine line. I bet we could get a 1/4-20 down through there. All this area looks relatively easy to get to, which is good. So let's look at adding a filler plate on the back side of here. I think we can fix this up pretty easy. I like how I weld without gloves, but I grabbed gloves like I really needed them for that. This strap right here, 3/4 inch wide, 1/8 inch thick. This is probably 11 gauge, slightly thicker. And as you can see, I just kind of rounded that where it fits right in there a little better. Then I can lay that there, come over here, and trace that side. Don't use gloves for this though, you know, just for that. Here we go, let's go, come on baby, let's go, let's go. Get down, turn around, go to town, do the boost scoop boogie. Poor Chris is sitting on the editing side of this, thinking to himself, damn, I hate when he starts singing. You ain't ever said that, Chris, but I know it, all right? It's written all over your face. Every time I see you now, your face is telling me, please quit singing. All right, put this little bevel on there, and on our other piece that I lost somewhere. Well, I beveled the other side of that piece, and then we'll put it in there and fill that up with weld, and then grind her down flush. I found our missing piece there. Kind of see how it's fit up. With that bevel, we got plenty of room for a weld. This little job here would be a good time to have a nice little TIG. Someone shut that gas off like we were done fabricating for the day or something. Ain't gotta be pretty, just make it hot, because all that get ground off. We'll let that one cool off, get this one caught up. What's cool is, since we had cut that one at the angle we needed, it'll work for this side as well. The one angle slice there, we should be good to go. Ta-da! That'll keep it nice and flat in there, which is good considering we've got a bolt through that. Let's mark from this top edge, because that's from the original bracket, not this edge, and we'll mark down, find center, and come in X amount, you know, make her symmetrical. Mark us a line across center. Ha-ha! Our weld-on bracket is now a bolt-on bracket. Drop the latch on from up top, and we will see. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Almost like it wants to go there or something. Boom, that's perfect. Both them are started. Of course, that one, there we go. Both them start. That was a a lot easier than I was thinking it was gonna be. For some reason, I thought that was back in a tighter spot. I don't know what I was thinking. Either way, I guess for the stability, we will be making all that stay in place. Probably worth it. No harder than that was to do. Obviously, we ain't gonna cinch it down without putting a little paint, because that grinder and paint make me the welder. I ain't. Turned out pretty good. Get these bad girls in the spray booth. The bottom side is what you can actually see if you look underneath there. So we want to make sure that's nice and coated. Got our driver side caught up with our passenger, building our bracket, I mean. And as this stuff dries, I'm actually gonna go out there and get the front hood latch on, get our little bumper stopper on, and by then we'll probably be ready for our brackets in here. So let me get this side caught up, and then when we're actually going together with it, I'll bring y'all along. Just trying to figure out why that hood wouldn't pick up. It has nothing to do with that front latch. I have this hood holder opener thingy. This has to, I think it just kind of hangs almost on our strut rods up here. Pretty sure I just put that on upside down. Let me flip her. I had to flip it back like I had her the first time. Once those are clamped down, kind of tighten them down at first, then they kind of slide on there, so just pull it forward, get it running pretty straight across there, and you pick those up, flip that down, and then boom, that holds that. Now we're ready to show her off at the old car show. Right, I would not advise using those on a windy day. But we've got her on, we've got her opening, we've got her holding, and we've got it closing. We've even got it latching in the front. This has gone a little smoother than I was kind of predicting it to, guys. I am not mad about that. Happy with our gaps. I do need to make sure this other, I don't think I've tightened down the strut rod on this side. Probably want a little bit of torque on that, help hold some stuff maybe. I got our other side all buttoned up. I did have to run and get hot rod from school. Swung by the parts house, got us a new radiator cap, got some more trans fluid, and I swung by the dollar store, got some of that good stuff, some of the oven cleaner. That stuff's meaner than a ticked off woman. Boy, that other side was nice and bit for me. I guess this side ain't going to. Should be good. And that should be the last of it. Pick up on that, flip that down, set that down. Our custom bent latches, hold that. Ain't got no crazy wiggling or nothing like that, guys. This side actually pops out just a little bit. What we were kind of experiencing on this side, about the same. So I don't know if it's kind of supposed to be like that. The only other thing that could possibly help that with this being higher, because then I think that would stretch that out some. Also, if we shove in right there, maybe you can see it picks up right here, so we could probably almost put some like little rubber stoppers in here, and that may fix that. So out of curiosity, if we just set a piece of vacuum hose right there, hold on, and try to flatten her out just a hair. Let's see what happens when we close that. Well, for one, that matches almost flush, and that pulls in a lot better. We could go even with a slightly thicker, because that is still below our, well, right there it's not. So this might be the good difference, because that's not a bad stick out now. Sometimes you just gotta get creative, guys. Obviously, we could figure out how to glue a more permanent piece in there or something, but I'll be honest, this sitting up there, it ain't gonna bother me none. If it bothers you when you pop the hood somewhere, just take it out there, put it in your pocket, and then at the end of the day when you're done, just set it back up there. See how that one looks? Ooh, same thing. Now we've just got a little bit of stick out there where the pivot is, no big deal. That does stick up. So on this one, it probably benefit us to maybe take that up closer towards the hinge itself. So I did. I bumped it up some. Helped a little bit. This side's not as beautiful as this side, but it's dang sure nothing to be upset about for a car that's close to 100 years old. Slap our breather back on. Yeah, I put us some trans fluid in her, and let's try this new radiator cap here. Wonder if this one says 0.9. Either way, we'll try that one, see if we have any luck with it. Breather back on. I still did not mount our dipstick yet, just because I want to be able to get everything nice and hot again and check it. That's hurt, nothing like that. When we finally get that happy, y'all know that bolts down there to the valve cover bolt, where it's kind of hidden. Ooh, we're still doing good on time. We're gonna go for it and try it. To take this canary yellow pinstripe off here that I do not want on here, we're gonna take some of our Easy Off oven cleaner, heavy duty. Old Corso built. He is the gentleman who did our door for us there. I've got a few of his panels hanging around here, or PFS shirts. He actually designed these for us. And when I seen him at the roundup, I'd asked him about replacing our yellow stripe. And he said if we put a pinstripe over that, because that's so fatty, such a fatty, that whatever covered it have to be huge. He said maybe some oven off would get this off. He was betting, so he sampled a little bit right there, and sure enough. Now obviously, this stuff is mean, guys. It takes off, like if you have some primer on stuff, you gotta be careful because it will booger up paint underneath there. But like that stuff will eat primer off real quick. I guess whatever kind of paint that yellow is, this will take care of pretty quick. So we're gonna go around, and this is gonna be probably time consuming. I don't know if we'll get it all done today. We'll see how quick it takes it off here. But we're gonna use our Q-tips and pretty well concentrate on our line. And then you ain't gotta have it on there long. So then we're gonna, I just got some spray soap, and we'll use some watery rags, and we're gonna wipe off the mess as we go. That stuff is like bubbly, foamy, sticky, icky. You gotta be careful. This is some mean stuff. Oh yeah, that's good. Say that and then splash it everywhere. Well, it didn't take it off there as quick as I thought it would. I don't know how long he had that stuff on there for to get that part off. I mean, it's taking it off there. It's just not as fast as I thought it was gonna be. Oh, that's taking some chunks off. I'm too scared to leave it on there for a long time, because I'm afraid it's gonna booger or paint underneath, which we don't want. I already know with needing to leave for volleyball in less than an hour that we're not getting this all done today. Not at this rate. Got a little water here. That way I can go over these areas that we're not messing with anymore. Okay, basically the area he had done, because that's the only part that's completely clean. Boy, who volunteered for this, huh? Goodness. Be here to the 5th Sunday on this one. All right, I am rinsing her off as I go. I've been being a little more liberal with it. Maybe I didn't say that. Not trying to talk politics. I'm just trying to say I've been slapping a little more on there than what I started with. Getting a little braver. And now that I've got this door completely stripped down, brand new microfiber, little Dawn dish soap spray on stuff. Just want to make sure to get all this oven cleaner off here good. I don't want a drop of it somewhere just sitting, being able to eat away at our good paint. Now I like a lot of different yellows, but like a bright canary yellow like that, for me, that's just not it. So to speed that up, I'm taking a bigger glop on our Q-tip here, and instead of dripped some there. Caught it with my finger. Instead of really stretching that sucker out, if you can get it on there thicker, it seems to obviously cut down through there quicker. I've also built up my confidence on knowing it ain't just gonna take off our green, gray, blue, whatever color you wanna call that underneath. Depends on how the sunlight hits it, on what color it chooses to be for the day. But if you make sure that's on there nice and thick the first go around, then come back down here where we started, and we can already start kind of chipping away at it. I think up here is probably a little thicker, the paint is. They probably reloaded their brush and pulled that one line right there, because this is thicker than what it was on that door. And I'll just go down through there like that, rub off all the stuff that's gonna come off real easy, probably wash it with some water, just to kind of keep control of it, and then go back with another coat. Then after you rub some off, if you go down through there again, maybe y'all can see it's taking off a good chunk again. So just moving that crap around, letting it kind of cut into there and work, and seems to do a good job. Doing this whole side took probably about an hour 15 or so. Oh yeah, that does good. So there's some areas where it does kind of fog over our green paint, but I'm just taking some of our sweet patina century polish and putting a little on our microfiber. Can y'all see that little spot right there at the tip of my finger? There's a lot of little crap like that where some of it's pulled up and lasted, or it sat there a little too long or something. And I'm just taking some of that polish and just going down that body line, just giving it a good scrubbing back and forth. Maybe move your rag a little bit, because you're gonna do some cleaning here. Not trying to polish it so crazy that it just stands out like a sore thumb. Just trying to do a good little deep clean. See how that starts coming off there? And it'll take a lot. The camera ain't gonna do her justice for as kind of foggy as it was looking. But a quick round of polish, and now like that spot we had right there, she's gone. Shit the bed, Fred. I know some of y'all ain't gonna like it with the hood. I've pictured the hood on it the whole time, guys. So that hood on there, that bright, obnoxious yellow pinstripe gone, and I cleaned on our wheels and tires to really get them shining. Golly, that thing. God. Woo! Woo-hoo! That looks better, guys. And I know you're thinking, well, nothing really changed. That hood and the pinstripe being gone is exactly what this car needed. And I told y'all before, and I never really addressed it again, I wasn't a huge fan of the caps at first. But now that the car actually had to be raised back up a little bit, where it's not absolutely hammered on its belly, the car still has a very much a hot rod look, but a classy look. See, before with no hood, just the black steelies with it full slam down, it had this like nitty gritty toughness to it. Now it has a toughness, but a different type. Not the nitty gritty look, the classy look. I do think we will take a black pinstripe right back down that body line. That'll of course go with our top, our fenders, our steelies, our windshield frame, you name it. Anything that is black, that's gonna highlight and look good with. Guys, I'm so stinking, I think I'm more excited right now than what I've been the whole time as far as the progress on this thing. It was just not looking, it looked good, don't get me wrong, but having that hood on and that pinstripe, poof, like, it just doubled how good it looked to me. Those simple, little simple things just did that much for me. Hibbity hibbity. Goodness, man, that is looking good. Let me get that before I forget about it. I see a little bit of yellow paint we need to get off the fenders. And much other than that, guys, it is probably actually a little past time for me to head to volleyball. We're close to 6 o'clock now. So I'm running behind, so I'm gonna get after it. I appreciate y'all being here. Got some good stuff done this go around. Super happy with our progress on this. Thank y'all so much for being here, especially on the second channel. PutInsFabShop.com for that good quality merchandise. We appreciate all the support there, helping us grow and just supporting this dream. Just thank y'all for being here watching. That's a great way to support us. Literally means the world to me. I cannot thank you guys enough. I'm on the Instagrammer, I'm on the Facebooker, I'm on the Patreon, channel memberships on the main channel, and much other than that, guys. I hope you love this thing as much as I'm loving it right now. I will see y'all in the next one. However, do not forget, sitting on your ass will not finish your project. I'll see y'all in the next one. Hot damn, there's so much BSery. We had to start a whole channel for all the extras. Be sure to go check out Puddin's Fab Shop if you ain't seen that baby yet. Come on!